Obsession is proudly supported by Carly and Draggy. Check out the video description to find out the latest discount codes.
So then, you think the days of good value sports cars are gone? Well no, step forward, the brand new Toyota GR86. This car is so popular, you can't even buy it in the UK at this moment in time, well not unless you pay over the odds on the used car market. So what makes this Japanese sports car so popular? Let's find out. I've only got this car for 20 minutes, so let's jump in and go for a spin. Now, I'm going to start off with an unpopular opinion. I believe, in my opinion, the GT86 was overrated.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yes, I know that is shock horror. I may as well go out and punch the king. That's how controversial it is. But it wasn't a bad car. I just thought it was overrated, if I'm going to be honest. But let's see how the GR86 does. Now, for starters, you still have a boxer engine like you did in the old car, only it has increased in displacement. It's now 2.4 litres as opposed to 2 litres. And without getting really nerdy on you, the cylinders, the diameter of the bores have now gone from 86 millimeters to I think 93. I may need to correct myself there. But yes, I know that it's very boring. Get it? Cylinders, bores. We'll move on. Okay, on to the driving experience. So, at my left-hand side, I have a 6-speed manual gearbox. You can have this in an automatic if you're a bit mad. I think a car like this has to be a manual. So, this has more power. The horsepower has increased by 17% to 231, and the torque has also increased to 250 Newton meters. In regard to performance, if you go for the manual version, you'll hit 62 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, and you will top out at 140. If you go for the automatic, 62 comes in at 6.9, and the top speed is reduced to 134, I believe. This is very much a first drive, so yes, this is a bit rushed. So I will get one or two things wrong. So keyboard warriors, back down, will you? Now, I would like the gear change to have a bit more meat to it. The length of the gear change is just fine, but it feels a bit hollow. I think it's because the actual gear lever feels a little cheap, but that is why this car is so competitively priced. This is the entry-level GR performance vehicle money can get your hands on. Well, I've already covered that. You're going to struggle to do that, aren't you? Now, this car is stiffer, but also lighter materials have been used as well. I believe the roof, the bonnet and the front wings are made from aluminium. The centre of gravity has been reduced, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, this has the lowest centre of gravity for any production four-door sports car on the market right now. How's that for a pub fact? You can show off to your mates at your local.
Now, if you want even more nerdy information, you're in luck. Thanks to careful consideration of materials for the GR86, the weight of the new model is close to that of the GT86, despite extra safety and collision protection. The front lateral rigidity has been improved by 60%, and the overall body twisting rigidity has been improved by 50%, which makes for better handling and better responsiveness.
Anyway, enough nerdy trivia. Let's get back onto the driving. For starters, the seating position is pretty much bang on. The seats are fantastic. I would like the bolsters to be perhaps a bit firmer if I'm being really picky. As you're going through the harder corners, there is maybe a little bit too much give in them, but not to the point where it's a detractor for the car. The steering is pretty much bang on. Got no complaints with that so far. The ride is pretty good. There's a firmness to it, but you'd expect it. It's a sports car. It's not going to drive around like a limousine. Now, I would like to be sat a little bit low. I don't know whether the person before me. There we go. That's more sports car-y. Yes. Yes, I know you shouldn't adjust your seating position whilst you're driving, but I am on a private road. Although I am stuck behind a Kia Sportage, which I think might be older than me. And that's saying something. Yes, now that the seat is lowered, Seating position, tick, thumbs up from me. Very, very good. Brakes feel good. The feedback through the pedals got a lovely firmness from it. That's what you want from a sports car. You want the brakes to feel like they're actually there, if that makes sense. Certain parts of the interior do feel a little bit cheap, but that's why. Right, come on, let's really open it up. Oh, a little shift indicator. Oh, I like that. Very sports car-y. Yes, this car definitely has the right ingredients, but what I was trying to get at is, yes, certain parts of this car do feel somewhat cheap, but that means that Toyota has been able to give this a competitive price.
Speaking of which, when the Toyota GR86 was released to order in the UK, it had a starting price of £29,995, or if you wanted the auto, that was £32,085, which in my opinion seems like a bargain for what you're getting. It's clear others agree with me, as the car sold out its UK allocation in under the time it takes to complete a football match. Standard features include 18-inch alloys wrapped with Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres, not the primacy tyres as fitted to the GT86, 8-inch touchscreen with smartphone connectivity, 7-inch digital driver's display, LED headlights, heated front seats, dual design climate control, keyless entry, blind spot monitor, reversing camera with rear cross traffic alert and auto folding door mirrors, to name a few.
Right, okay, I'm going to shut up for a few moments. Really drink the car in. The noise doesn't do a great deal to inspire you, but the grip does. Very grippy through here. Now, of course, the GT86 was well known for spending most of its time going sideways, whereas this feels a bit more grippy, feels a bit more planted. Although, having said that, come on, it wants to play a little bit, but it's very grippy. And yeah, it's not the fastest sports car on the market, but hustle it down a road like this, and it's not too far behind some of its more expensive rivals. The handling is fantastic. Perhaps a smidge of rolled through the corners, but nothing that's really worth complaining about. But on those brakes, which are delicious. Turn it in. Now this is fun. This is fun. I didn't really get the same grin factor in the GT86. Maybe that's because I think part of me went into the GT86 with some level of expectation, whereas with this car, I've stripped that away. I want to judge this car on its own merit. I'm not really comparing it too much to the GT86 because it's been so long since I've driven that car, and like this drive, that drive was brief, so it wouldn't really be fair. Now, there's a phrase that Toyota use, and I'm probably going to pronounce it incorrectly, but it's wakudoki, which is probably completely wrong, but it means it's along the lines of adrenaline, heart pumping, and that is apt for this car. I really like this. It's not perfect, but for this price point, you can't do much better. Now, as many of you will know, I own an MX-5, and as such, I'm always beating the drum for that Japanese roadster. So the question is, would I have this or a brand new MX-5? It's tricky. MX-5, you can drop the roof. You can't do it in this. Not unless you want to get your hacksaw out, but that'll take a bit of time. I wouldn't recommend it. It would definitely affect the resale value. But they're both very good cars in their own right. I would say, I'm going to kind of cop out and say test drive both cars. I would say both cars have a slightly different character. As much as it pains me to say it, I would say this car probably feels a bit more focused. It has been a very long time since I've driven a Mark IV MX-5, but from my muscle memory, this feels a little bit more alert, a bit more, come on, let's go, let's head to a racetrack, or let's find a B road and absolutely obliterate it. Yeah, I would like the gear change to be a little bit better.
On the topic of the gearbox, Toyota states that the 6-speed manual has been revised to cope with the extra power and torque, as well as making the GR86 fun to drive. The manual box has a new carbon synchronizer to make it easier to shift into 4th gear, and there's new low viscosity oil and new bearings to ensure smoothness when shifting. I'd personally argue there's still room for improvement, but it's far from a bad shift.
As much as I could drive this car all day, which is a good thing, so it means I'm enjoying it, it also means, what are they doing? You're stopping to let me go on a roundabout. That's very unusual. As much as I could drive this all day, which is testament of how good this car is, Toyota will want it back soon, so this is going to be a very popular car today. In fact, we had to wait for a while for it. And also, in the passenger seat, I have none other than Pocket Rocket, who's helping me film today. I'm helping him film, and it's about time I give him a go in it. So this is very much my first impressions. There may have been some voiceovers with some even more nerdy details, but my first impressions are positive. I think this is a better car than the GT86. I'd say it's a more polished, finished product, and it almost seems as if the GT86 was kind of the tester, the first draft of what this car is and will be, if that makes any kind of sense. But yes, that was a quick drive. We were here for a good time, not a long time, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoy driving it. In fact, I was half tempted to go for another lap, but Toyota are probably getting itchy feet, and I know Chris is getting itchy feet in the passenger seat. So anyway, yes, I do hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.